It's Saturday night,
The kids are in bed,
which means we did it. We survived another week.
so let's talk about it.
From our latest homebrew project,
To kids' crafting projects.
it's just talking life with two young kids and two dogs. Grab your favorite beverage, sit back,
Relax.
and see where the conversation takes us.
Sometimes we don't even know until we get there. This is the Craft Parenting Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's episode of the Craft Parenting Podcast. Thank you so much for being here. Another week has flown by and it is once again Saturday, and we are here to record another episode. My name is Joe Ludwig, and with me is my lovely wife and co-host, Caroline. How's it going, Caroline?
I am here and I am tired.
What are you sitting on?
I'm sitting on an exercise ball
And why are you doing that?
because the chair wasn't comfy, because I'm old and it hurts my back
Oh my goodness.
and I'm short. So
As long as you practice your good mic techniques.
I am. You should be jealous.
So we have another great episode coming up for you guys, which we literally just planned like 5 minutes ago.
Hey, there's nothing like cramming at the last minute to get some of your best workout or just some workout.
We're going to talk all about the 4th of July and America Day.
America. This is a family-friendly podcast.
I can bleep it.
That was more funny, though.
Oh, wow. So let's dive in and get started. What did we do this week?
So I had my 30th birthday party. It was fun. I made city chicken that I did not know was not going to be breaded. So I was like desperately breading the city chicken as people were arriving.
Can you explain the theme of the party first, and then what is city chicken?
Okay, so the theme of the party was Midwestern. So we had Midwestern goodbyes, which Christina and Michelle won the Midwestern goodbye competition because they left. And then like a half hour later, other people left and we went outside and they were still standing outside of Michelle's car talking. They had the longest Midwestern goodbye. We had basically like a potluck where everybody brought in a Midwestern dish. So there is a dish that made its rounds where it's like a popcorn salad.
I did not have this
It
popcorn salad.
Terrible. It was just weird. So it was a mayonnaise-based dressing and shredded carrots and peas and popcorn. Hillary saved some of the popcorn to the side so we could have just some plain popcorn too. We had some skyline dip. Kim made funeral potatoes. I have never heard them called funeral potatoes though.
They are basically scalloped potatoes, right?
No, it's like a cheesy potato casserole with cornflakes on top. My mom used to make it. It's like cheesy potato casserole would be another way to put it. And then I made city chicken, which is cubed pork on skewers that are like 5 or 6 inches long.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be breaded and then cooked, but it wasn't breaded. So I had to bread it all before I could cook it. And I just baked it in the oven. But unfortunately, I didn't have any parchment paper. So one side of the breading stuck to the baking sheet, but it's really yummy. And the second batch, I got a lot better at the wet hand, dry hand method of breading things, because the first time I kept forgetting which hand was which, and there was as much breading on my fingers as there was on a entire kebab. Like, my fingers were huge with breading. But then I've perfected the keep one hand dry, keep one hand wet. I did not have near as much breading on my fingers the second batch. So that was good.
It was pretty good. I mean, I only had time for one kebab, which had like three or four pieces on it.
Don't worry. I got 20 more skewers in the freezer.
In the freezer,
So
yeah.
we will be having city chicken at some point in the nearish future.
Well, I would imagine we would probably grill them, right? Maybe not.
Maybe grill and maybe just cook them in the oven. We'll see.
I don't know why they call it city chicken, but my mom used to make it as well. She's more knowledgeable about it than I am, but she had an explanation about why it's called city chicken. I don't know if it's Midwestern or not, but I don't know. It was a something It was one of the meals that I grew up with.
According to Wikipedia via a Google search, the first references to city chicken appeared in newspapers and cookbooks just prior to and during the Depression era in a few cities such as Pittsburgh. City chicken typically has cooks using meat scraps to fashion a makeshift drumstick from them. It's a working class food item. So it's supposed to look like a drumstick, even though it's not a drumstick. Despite the name of the dish, city chicken almost never contains chicken.
It's whatever you can get.
Yeah. So, and then we had a cake from Kroger because I forgot to order a cake. I'm going to order a good cake for our anniversary, which I would probably have to do like 3 days ago. So we'll see when we get that. But we also did the party pails of ice cream, which is the gallon jugs of like okay ice cream. It was fun. Lily definitely stole the show.
When I went to get the ice cream, it said on the display, new improved recipe made with real ice cream or something. It was something like that.
Let me see if my picture of the window is clear enough to see what it says. Because the week before my party, I went to Kroger and I saw the ice cream section and I was like, hey, everybody, let me know what flavors you guys want. These are the flavors that I'm thinking of. Oh, so here it is. It says party pail, real ice cream, new delicious recipe. So I guess they have new ones. I don't know.
So what was it before that? Was it fake ice cream?
It wouldn't be entirely surprising. Those pails are pretty cheap. So we did a fudge swirl pail and we did a Neapolitan or party mix pail, which I'm not sure about you, but I remember going to parties as a kid and like the mother would bring that out and they would ask you which flavor of ice cream you wanted. And so they'd scoop like just the chocolate for you or just the vanilla or just the strawberry. Like they wouldn't ever get all three flavors.
I don't remember us using the circular, like the gallon. Is that a gallon? I don't know.
They're actually a gallon as opposed to a half-gallon pail.
I do remember us getting Neapolitan for like birthdays, like at Annie's and stuff, but it was a much smaller version of that. So remember when Kroger had like the paper cartons? It's not what we have in the refrigerator, but it was like a block square.
Oh, yeah. I do remember those. I think we made an ice cream cake with those ones.
That's more of the size, so I guess it would be a half gallon or whatever. I do remember getting that though. That must have been something new that they did.
Possibly.
Maybe. Elliot on Saturday was kind of a brat.
He as much as infants can be brats.
But he screamed, which is why I didn't get any food.
Yeah, he wasn't really a happy camper.
We talked about this when we went on vacation. I think it was a temperature issue.
Yeah, he might have been too warm. We put him to sleep in just a diaper that night, and he was perfectly content.
I mean, people were coming in and out, and
the house might have been a little warmer than usual.
It was definitely warmer than usual because people were hanging out in the house for a very long time.
I kept trying to get people out of the house, and they're like, we're just going to hang out in your living room. And I'm like, we didn't clean this part of the house for company. Okay.
Yeah, the dining room is filled with our stuff. And so much that we had to put other people's stuff on the carpet, which
Zoe liked.
Yeah, Zoe liked. That's what I was going to say. I mean, she tore up someone's bag.
Fortunately, it was a bag that they didn't care about, but it had remnants or like the hint of remnants of food. And Zoe was like, food? No one's around? Mine.
Yeah.
No, Zoe, there is no food.
So Zoe was a brat, which that's going to be another theme in this episode, which we'll get to shortly.
Yeah. And then Lily stole the show. She was just adorable toddler the whole time.
You played Yahtzee?
Yes, we played Yahtzee, which is not anything at all like Yahtzee.
Except it is.
Except it's exactly like Yahtzee. And Lily would help us roll the dice after we had already rolled them. So it was as soon as you rolled the dice, quick. Figure out what numbers you have and which ones you want to keep before the toddler touches it.
I did not participate because we had so many people that we didn't have any chairs or any room for chairs, even if we had the chairs.
Yeah, well, because the weather was kind of screwy where nobody wanted to go outside.
So it was really warm.
Yeah, everybody was just hanging out in the sunroom and we maxed out the sunroom on space.
And in the 7 years that we've been here, we've never had that. I guess we've never had that many people over.
Or they haven't just all been in the sunroom at the same time, because sometimes people will hang out on the patio, but it wasn't until the sun went down that people went and hung out on the patio.
And at that point, the cicadas weren't super terrible.
Their presence was known, but yeah, they weren't terrible. Now they're atrocious. I killed so many cicadas this week with my minivan. It's ridiculous.
They call you Cicada Killer. Or Mrs. Cicada. What is that from? They call me Mr.
I do not know. I don't even think I can finish the phrase.
Mr. I'll think of it. It's like a Disney movie. They call me.
I don't know. So everybody had fun. I got some cool gifts. Got some scratch off tickets. I got a new tumbler that says "Not a Day Over Fabulous." You can tell that we're getting older because a lot of the gifts were like candles and lotion. And hey, yeah, your skin doesn't act the way it used to. Moisturize. Is that from like
Lion King?
1.5?
No, that's the original.
Oh, we just haven't seen it in forever.
No. That's what I was thinking of. I don't know if I caught that on the recording.
We have been listening to a lot of Lion King lately.
Yeah, it's good music, but I'm not okay with Lily seeing the stampede scene.
Yeah. So Sunday, we recovered from the party, cleaned everything up. I decided we were finally going to get memberships for the pool. But Lily was a brat. Well, not necessarily a brat. Lily was not acting like she would be fine with going to the pool at noon. So we went after nap time.
Did it rain that day?
Oh, maybe it rained too. But I took Elliot to Kroger so we could get some groceries. He enjoyed that. The cicadas were definitely a little bit louder. And then after nap time, we loaded everybody up into the double stroller and walked to the neighborhood pool, which Lily really enjoyed.
Yeah, the cicadas. I don't really mind the noise that they make. They just fly around and randomly land on you, though.
Yeah.
Or they run into you.
They're very stupid.
And they dive bomb you.
Because they're stupid. They're not the brightest bugs out there. Technically, fireflies are the brightest bugs. But insert applause here, Editing Joe.
You do not have that power. I have the power. Unlimited power. Can I play a Jafar reference?
I don't know. We don't want the House of Mouse to shut us down. So there are 3 pools in this swim club. There is that baby pool that is 2 feet deep. There is a toddler and baby pool, which goes from 2 feet to 3 feet. And then they have like the big kid pool.
10 feet, I think, where it bottoms out.
That would make sense. I haven't been in the big pool yet.
There used to be a diving board.
Yeah.
But they took that away.
I don't know if they took it away for insurance reasons or to get more pool out of the pool. Because if you have a diving board, you typically can't have anybody hang out around the diving board while people are using the diving board. So like half or a third of your pool can't be used other than with the diving board. On Sunday, only the toddler pool was open. So Lily hung out in the shallow end of the toddler pool. She had lots of fun. She only almost died 3 times.
No, she didn't.
Well, so she fell and like completely went underwater 3 times. The first time, everybody was shocked and we were like, oh my goodness, what happened? But like she didn't try to breathe or anything, so she was fine. Like I look over and she's just like looking up at me from under the water and I'm like, okay, let's get you up. And she was like, okay, that was weird, but that was a thing that happened. The second time she was a bit more traumatized because I think she actually took a little gulp of water. And the third time we were like, it's fine, shake it off, we're all good. And we hung out at the pool a little bit longer because we had been about to leave, but I was like, no, we can't make her last trip, like her last memory, be slightly scarring. So then we all walked home and I'm assuming we ate some dinner and went to bed. I don't entirely remember order of operations. Oh, everybody got a bath because it was bath night. So we gave everybody a bath and then dinner in bed.
I don't remember what we had for dinner.
I don't either.
That bad?
Chicken wings. We had chicken wings.
We had chicken wings.
From Bridgetown Finer Meat.
Yes.
So the cicadas were a bit louder. One of them landed on Lily and she was not a fan of that. Overall, she is not a fan of the cicadas.
She was curious about them.
She was, until they started invading her space.
Well, yeah, because like I said, they randomly land on you. And everyone says that they pinch when they their legs crawl on you. They kind of pinch you, but it doesn't hurt. I mean, they don't sting you. They don't bite you, but it can be kind of forceful when they land on you and then start walking.
Well, because they're very big. They're very fat. So they weigh a little more than your average bug. But that takes us to Monday, where everybody went to work on Monday. And Zoe spent all of the time outside, where she then ate all of the cicadas, apparently.
Yeah, that was not my fault.
Zoe had been spending a lot of time outside, but she had been okay. Even though she was eating cicadas, she only got a few of them. Apparently on Monday, she ate all of the cicadas.
I mean, they're everywhere now.
They are. It's funny because they try to land on our slide, and then they slide down the slide, and there'll be like 5 hanging out at the bottom of the slide, like, okay, what do I do now? I tried to go there, but now I'm here.
Today, I was trying to take down that stupid umbrella stroller, which it's still up. I don't know how to take it down. I went outside, and Hillary was with Lily outside.
Yeah.
And so was Zoe, and she was just going to town. So I don't know how many she got, but I told Hillary, she's on probation. Zoe, you are on probation, which means leash when we go potty.
The plan was when I got home, because the pool had worn Lily out so much that I was going to take Lily to the pool after I got home from work while Elliot and Joe made dinner. Everything went perfectly to plan. There were no issues. Absolutely everything was perfect. It was a great plan.
This is fake news. Mostly false.
Yeah. So I get home from work. I take care of Elliot. I go upstairs to start to change into my swimsuit and discover that Zoe had gotten sick in our bedroom. So now I got to clean that up. And then Zoe had also gotten sick in Lily's bedroom. So I had to clean up that as well. That's the theme of this week, is Zoe just getting sick random places in the house because someone had eaten way too many cicadas.
Like I said, probation.
But we got everything cleaned up. Lily and myself got in the car to drive to the pool because since it was just the two of us, I was like, we're just going to drive there. We don't have the time to walk because it's late in the day. And Lily and myself had a lot of fun at the pool. Lily played in the water. She splashed. There weren't any other kids to play with, so it was just me and Lily.
Did you have to go in the same pool or was the other one open?
Yeah, we went in the toddler pool again. So we had lots of fun. How was it here? Great, right?
It was very loud. And it wasn't because of the cicadas. Elliot wasn't happy that you left without him.
No, he wanted to be where the people were. He wanted to go into the pool.
Apparently, I'm not people.
But I can't watch 2 kids in the pool at the same time at the moment. They're both too fragile still.
No, but he was upset. He was something. He was hungry. He was gassy. He was, I don't know what he was, but he wasn't happy.
He just wanted to be with his big sister. So for the moment, we have put plans on hold to take Lily to the pool after I get off work. Maybe Joe will take her. Maybe I'll try to take her again. I don't know. We'll see.
But you got home and he was still fussing.
He was still fussy when I got home. He eventually chilled out.
I tried to give him a bottle. That didn't work out. You gave him the bottle. He fell asleep. Because screaming for 30 minutes, I guess, straight, I guess that wears you out. Maybe.
It might make you a little tired, possibly.
But he fell asleep. And on Tuesday, didn't he sleep in until 9 or something?
Oh, yeah. Both the kids slept in on Tuesday. I actually woke Elliot up at 9:45 because I was like, okay, you've been sleeping long enough. It is time for you to wake up and interact with people.
So I guess crying wears him out? Maybe that's the trick. New parents, make your kid cry nonstop for 30 minutes.
I do not approve of this parenting advice. Zoe was still not doing well Tuesday morning. Surprise, surprise. So I call all of the vet's offices that I can think of, and unfortunately they're all booked, except for one up in Hamilton, which is about a 40-minute drive for us to get to. And they can take Zoe on Thursday, which means we have to suffer 2 more days of Zoe not feeling well.
And stinky farts.
And so stinky farts. At least at this point, she's starting to eat food again because in the evening, she started to eat food because Tuesday morning, I put out breakfast for Zoe and Clara, and it was still there at dinner time, which is very uncharacteristic for Zoe because usually she would have eaten both of those meals in a heartbeat if Clara would not have touched hers.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get a whole lot done on Tuesday between both of the kids and Zoe because Zoe was only allowed to go outside if she was on leash. And the kids both wanted lots of attention, but they're cute, so it was fine. On Wednesday, I found a zombie cicada at work.
Explain that. What is a zombie cicada?
Cicadas only come out of the ground on prime number years in an attempt to make it so their predators don't have as many children. So like they have a better chance at staying alive. But some of their predators have figured out how this works. One of them is this weird fungus. So this fungus appears in the soil about the same time cicadas do, but like 2 weeks before the cicadas do. And this fungus is some kind of, like, it's either related to psilocybin or it actually has psilocybin in it, which is a very psychoactive drug.
Mm-hmm.
And so this fungus attacks the cicadas, basically rotting them from the inside out, and it makes their butts fall off. Male cicadas will still make noise to attract female cicadas, but they also flick their wings, which is what female cicadas do when they say, yo, I am DTF. So then male cicadas try to mate with them. So this fungus makes their butts fall off, and then they end up mating with all of the things, which just spreads the fungus. So it's basically an STD for cicadas, and their butts are white instead of black. So I was like, oh, sweet. I finally got to see a fungus cicada.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
So when the media tells you to eat the cicadas, be careful.
Don't do the ones with the white butts.
Actually, don't eat the bugs anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, yeah. And the funny thing is, too, the scientist that discovered this was a thing had like a bunch of these cicadas to study 17 years ago because they noticed it then. And once he realized that it was a psychoactive drug, he was like, oh no, the DEA is going to come and shut me down with guns and shiznit because I'm not classified to handle a Schedule 1 drug, and that's what this is, because there was enough in them and the combined number of cicadas that he had that you could probably mess somebody up with it. So that was fun at work. And then the kids went to your parents' house, and everyone was very tired when I picked them up. So I think the kids wore them out.
I think that's a fair assessment. And Zoe continued to have upset stomach.
Yeah, but she got to hang out with you in the basement.
Well, because I found a spot that was kind of
very concerning. Yeah, it was no bueno.
It wasn't good. No, there was a little bit of blood in it.
Yeah.
So she's okay now. I mean, she's fine.
Yeah, so on Thursday, both the kids slept in again, which kind of screwed up my schedule for the day because I didn't realize what time it was. And Zoe had a drop-off appointment almost an hour away from the house. I took Elliot with me and Zoe for a 40-minute car ride where Zoe had the stinkiest of stanky farts. And I got the Grinch song stuck in my head because all I could think of was the 3 words I would use to describe you are stink, stank, stunk. It was so awful. So bad. Her stomach was so upset. But she did not have any bodily functions in my car other than farts. So
I think we were a little concerned about that.
I was a lot concerned about that. So I came home and hung out with the kids until they both decided that they wanted to take a nap. And about 10 minutes after Elliot went down for his nap, the vet calls and says, hey, you can come pick up Zoe. So then the question became, okay, Joe, this is going to be at minimum an 1.5-hour car trip. What do you want me to do? Wait for one of the kids to wake up or just book it now? And we probably made the good call of going now because traffic wouldn't be as bad as if I attempted to go like at 5 when people were going home from work. I picked up Zoe from the vet and got her plethora of medications because she's on an antibiotic and a probiotic. So we're killing her bacteria as we're growing her new bacteria. It makes perfect sense. I mean, it does when you really think about it, but it's still pretty funny. And she attempted to stink me out of the van again, but I prevailed and got zip-dip because we have to do research for an upcoming local ice cream shop. episode. And I like to support local businesses. And Zip Dip is delicious. And ice cream.
But she is medicated. Zoe is medicated and
She
is doing
is.
a lot better. Did she get to go outside with you?
She did.
Okay. And did people say how cute she was?
They did. They always do.
That's all she lives for.
That and food.
So on Friday, we both went to work.
Yep.
It's a work day.
Woohoo.
Your mom came here, which usually does not happen. So that was a little different. Usually I take the kids to my mom's house, but my mom had a conflict. So she came here and she watched the kids. And then you came home.
Yeah, I came home after I had asked you what we were going to do for dinner like 3 hours earlier.
Yeah, I was busy. I didn't have time to think about that.
So I get home and I'm like, hey, so what are we going to do for dinner? To which you say, burgers? Bridgetown Finer Meats? That does sound yummy.
Well, you
Okay,
suggested
I'll go.
going out, but we go out too much.
We have been going out a bit lately.
So my goal the next couple months is to eat in.
Yeah, so I picked up some
think.
stuff so we could eat in
Yes.
for a few days. Like I got stuff for not just Friday. And Lily actually ate some of the burger, which she's usually like all about the bun and zero burger consumption. But she ate some of it. She got some protein that wasn't peanut butter or cheese.
Or Nutella.
Or Nutella, yeah. Oh boy, that girl loves Nutella so much.
I did not have Nutella growing up. The first time I had Nutella was when I went to Europe in 2006.
I want to say, I don't even remember why I started buying Nutella. Maybe I just thought I would like it more than I did. But then it got really yummy, so I don't know.
Maybe, is that a Midwestern thing? Do other people know what Nutella is?
I feel like Fluffernutter is very Midwestern. That's yummy. That's peanut butter fluff and peanut butter on a sandwich. A Fluffernutter sandwich.
They don't sell, I guess they sell the marshmallow.
Yeah, it's marshmallow fluff. We've bought it. I want to say we bought it down in like Florida because I had it on some vacation we went to.
I do
Maybe.
not remember you buying that, but okay.
I like to buy marshmallow fluff from time to time and make Fluffernutter sandwiches.
But Nutella is hazelnut and chocolate mixed together.
It is. And we're very fortunate that so far none of the children are showing signs of any kind of allergy because I don't think that she would like having to remove peanut butter or Nutella from her diet.
Lily loves both of them, and we put them with the Ritz crackers, and she's actually learning to, so you give her scoops of peanut butter in a bowl and you give her a spoon and she takes the peanut butter and she spreads it on the cracker, right?
Yep, she's trying to. We're getting those little skills into her.
She didn't do it for me, but she has done it for you.
Not consistently, but yeah, she'll do it.
And she's also done it for your mom, I think, right?
Correct.
So,
Because she's one smart cookie.
yeah, I mean, she's not even 2 yet. And she gets the concept of, I'm going to take the peanut butter and spread it. Because I don't do that in front of her. Maybe I should.
You probably should.
Usually I do it on the counter when she's in the high chair. She doesn't.
Or running around the living room like a maniac.
Yes.
She likes to do that too.
So that brings us to Saturday. Oh, also on Friday, to back up, we watched the new episode of The Bad Batch.
Yes, we did. Oh yeah, we watched that on Friday.
Which is a Star Wars show,
Mm-hmm.
animated show, sequel to
The Clone Wars.
the Clone Wars animated series. Yep. And then we also watched Loki, which is a live action
Marvel TV show.
Marvel TV show. Yes.
It was pretty good.
It's interesting. I think there's 6 episodes total.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Curious to see where they take the series.
It's very different. It's kind of sci-fi, Doctor Who-y.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's what I would nothing like that has happened so far, but they clearly made it seem like it would be time travel would be involved.
Yeah.
Actually, it might even mirror the 6th season of Doctor Who.
Oh, snap. We shall see.
Because remember,
Yes, I do remember. We shall see. So that brings us to Saturday, or today, where I made breakfast and then we piled in the car to go to Java Jackets.
what is Java Jackets?
Java Jackets is a local coffee shop. It's in North Bend, Ohio. We got some pastries and some coffee, and the kids behaved. Lily fed herself some cinnamon roll.
Elliot slept. slept.
Yeah, Elliot slept. He likes to do that. He's growing. And then on the way home, not suggested by me, we went on a Target run.
We did, and it was because Lily, to my knowledge at least, whatever's in her drawers and stuff in her dresser, she only has long-sleeved pajamas.
She does not have a lot of like quote unquote summer pajamas. So she does need some. I mean, we technically could just throw her in her clothes, but it's nice to have pajamas.
Well, I have been throwing her in clothes. I've been throwing her in dresses.
Yeah.
So we actually purchased nightgowns.
Well, no, we put the nightgown back. We purchased short sleeves and shorts. We got a Minnie Mouse set and a Sesame Street set.
Lighter stuff.
Yeah.
Because her room is warm, right? What is it now? Like 78? Or maybe it's a little cooler now.
Her room is 77 and so is his.
Okay, so it's a little bit cooler because I think the house is down to 73 now. So overnight it gets a little bit cooler, but I mean 77, that's really warm still.
Yeah. So originally we had a nightgown and like shirt and shorts set that was just like generic, like kind of girly stuff. And then we picked out a Minnie Mouse set, which also has long sleeves and pants. So you get a pair of shorts and short sleeves and then a long sleeve shirt and pants. And then I was like, wait, the boy child cannot wear any of these things because they are all pink and very girly. So one of these sets has to go back and we have to buy the Sesame Street set that will work for both children. Okay, Lily, pick which one you want to keep. Of course, she picked Minnie Mouse. Minnie Mouse is her jam. I mean, she has lots of jams, but Minnie Mouse, Sesame Street, dogs, those are the main three.
Well, she's getting into cats now. My mom is the perpetrator in that front.
Yeah. Well, and then in cleaning out my mom's house, we rediscovered a pillow that I had made at some point that has a latch hook cat on it. And we decided, okay, this is Lily's now for her room. And now Lily carries it around like everywhere. She showed it to Hillary today. And then Hillary was like, oh, you show me? And like I hold? And Lily was like, no, hide in box. Hillary, look, no touch.
She's pretty cute.
She is. So after we all got some snacks after the Target run, everybody nap now if you're a small child.
I like it when they nap. That's like the best part of the day.
Well, you got to do podcast things. I got to start working on cleaning up the sunroom.
Well, I don't know if I got anything done because my mouse died. It's hard to edit stuff
without a mouse.
Without a mouse, yeah.
So then we decided as Lily was waking up, hey, Stephen and Hillary, are you guys still home? Do you guys want to hang out tonight? And we took them to the swimming pool. So it was our first time bringing guests to the pool and they all had fun. Well, we all hung out in the baby pool. So we get there and Elliot fell asleep on the walk over. So I was like, okay, I guess you just get to hang out in your stroller until you wake up and we'll take turns on who gets to hang out with Lily in the baby pool. So you, Stephen, and Hillary went into the big pool to hang out and I hung out in the baby pool with Lily. And then Hillary joined me because she was like, I got tired of treading water. I just wanted to sit and relax. So we both sat in the baby pool while we played with Lily. And then you and Stephen joined us in the baby pool. Until Lily was the only baby in the baby pool.
Well, I thought you were trying to signal to me. I saw you looking over.
No, I was just making sure that you guys were still alive.
I thought something was happening. So
yeah. Well, and then Elliot woke up angry.
I think he was warm. And that's a growing trend with him.
Yeah.
He was born in February. He doesn't like this summer thing.
He doesn't understand it. It makes no sense. Why is everything so warm?
Fun fact, today was the hottest day of the year.
So far.
I think it peaked at 91, maybe.
It was warm. So we all hung out in the kiddie pool and then came home and had pizza. And now we're podcasting.
I would say that he was not happy on the way home either.
He was not. I mean, I was on the phone trying to order pizza, so I kind of tuned him out.
No, he was screaming the whole way home.
He was. Poor baby.
I don't think he was I think he was, as is an ongoing problem, he was very warm.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do about that.
He's a big kid. I mean,
his roles have roles.
Yeah. So the heat is not his friend. So yeah, that was the week. That was a very long week.
It was.
Lots of stuff happened. So now it's time for What's Bugging Caroline in Children's TV.
Yeah, so we are currently in season 3 of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. And season 3 annoys me for a variety of reasons, but the main one is because of Toodles.
Who is Toodles?
So Toodles is the weird computer helper that brings us Mouse-Gatools when we are having issues. And for seasons 1 and 2, Toodles does not have a voice or a face. Season 3, Toodles gets a voice and a face, but not all of the time. So there'll be an episode where Toodles has a voice and a face, and then there'll be 4 episodes in a row where Toodles has no voice or face. I don't understand, like, if they animated the episodes in a different order than when they released them. It's not like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse really follows a timeline like a sitcom does, where you have seasons and stuff. So they could have just put all of the episodes where Toodles talks at the end. I don't understand.
It's probably the network's fault because we get that a lot. I mean, it happens all the time in broadcast television where the creators, Firefly, for instance.
Well, yeah, they decided that the first episode of Firefly was boring, so they started off the season with episode 2 and then aired episode 1.
Which, as the writing team, I mean, they introduced all the characters thinking it was the pilot.
Yeah.
And then the network, the suits at Fox decided, we're going to pull this out of order. So if you watch it in order, it doesn't really make... if
you watch it in a release order, it doesn't make as much sense as if you watch it in the actual order it was intended to be watched.
Yeah. So, it happens all the time. That's just one example. So that's probably what happened here. Animation is a tricky thing because it takes so long to do.
So, Hubs, I noticed you have an adult beverage in your hand. What you drinking?
I am drinking a West Side Summer Ale, and it is 4.8%, 32 IBUs. And this is the description that I found on their website. Our version of an English summer ale is sparkling light golden color with a fluffy white head. Lightly fruited and citrusy hop aromas lead into a crisp, crackery malt body, and a dry finish paired with just enough bitterness make this thirst quencher a real summer crusher. Yeah, it's good. I like it. I like it a lot. I prefer the Hefeweizen though, which I think, did I have that last week?
I think you did.
I do prefer the Hefeweizen, but this one is okay as well. I will say it got cold Memorial Day weekend. I think that's when
so cold.
It got below average, we'll say, like in the 60s. And I tried to drink this, and it wasn't as good as it is right now.
What's like when there was some early festival that we went to where they had Leinenkugel Summer Shandy when that first came out. It was like a new thing. And we were like, this is not so good. Like,
no, it was
5
Easter.
5 out of 10. Yeah, it was Easter. It was like 5 out of 10. Like, it's okay, but it's not my favorite. And then in June, we had them and we were like, this is amazing. 9 out of 10. So yummy. So good for this weather. So the weather really can affect what you think of a beer.
Especially something that's really light and it has certain flavors. Like this has the flavoring in this beer is meant for a day like today, a 90-degree.
Oh my goodness.
Blistering hot.
Everything is warm.
We're in the pool, swimming, fireworks are going off.
America.
Yes. Yeah, so that's what I would say about this beer. It's pretty good. I do prefer the Hefeweizen, which is another one of those beers that pairs perfectly with the hot summer, unbearably hot summer day. Hefeweizen or a summer ale would be the perfect pairing for that. But you're drinking something interesting.
I am. We should just do like a whole episode on West Side Brewing or something, because I am currently drinking a West Side Brewing Goza. It's 3.8% ABV and 7 IBU. The description is cloudy, yellow with a fluffy white head. Our traditional German-style Goza uses sea salt and coriander to make a truly unique beer. This brew leads with aroma of bread dough, lemon citrus, and a hint of lactic acid. The flavor is more doughy maltiness and some coriander spice that is followed immediately by a clean, firm sourness. The beer ends with a perfectly balanced hit of salinity to prime you for your next drink. It is a little salty. It is a little sour. It's a lot yummy. You probably would not enjoy this beer, but I do enjoy it very much.
It's one of those beers where I wouldn't, I mean, I do. I like it. It's an interesting flavor. It's not something I would go to the bar and pay for. It's not something that I prefer. Like, I prefer the Hefeweizen or the Summer Ale.
Yeah.
Or a lager.
I drink whatever. I like them all. And this one technically falls under the Reinheitsgebot, even though it breaks out of the 4-ingredient rule of water, hops, yeast, and malt, because basically the Goza got grandfathered in because it is a traditional style for one of the regions. So they said, okay, we'll allow you to keep doing this via Reinheitsgebot, but no more of those funky additives. Coriander is it.
And salt. Sea salt.
Yeah, and salt. Now, some breweries do get around that by like chucking rocks and stuff. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what they do, but like they put rocks in while they're brewing. So you get some flavor from that, because that technically doesn't break the rules somehow. I don't know. It's been a while since I've read up on it. We could do a whole episode on the Reinheitsgebot if you want, and I could remember what it was that I knew about it.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, right?
No.
No, there's a whole history behind it.
There is.
Well, okay. So that is what we are drinking. Cheers to the weekend, and Lord help us in the week ahead, because starting tomorrow, we are going to have to do it all over again. More crazy adventures are ahead, and we will make sure to share them with you each week right here on the Craft Parenting Podcast. It is time to talk about the 4th of July and the fireworks that we love so much.
And our dogs hate.
Yes. So why do we set off fireworks? I did some copy and pasting from our friends at history.com.
We like history.com. As it turns out, setting off mini explosions of all shapes and colors, but particularly red, white, and blue, on July 4th goes back almost as far as American independence itself. We've always been pyrotechnics, Joe. It's in our nature. Fireworks have a long and colorful history, but the story of how they became ubiquitous on July 4th dates back to the summer of 1776, during the first months of the Revolutionary War. On July 1st, delegates of the Continental Congress were in Philadelphia, debating over whether the 13 original colonies should declare their independence from Britain's Parliament, as well as King George III himself. Some of this you can see in the musical Hamilton.
Or in the musical 1776.
Oh, yeah, that's a musical, too. Isn't Mr. Feeney in the movie version of it? I don't remember. I have maybe seen it once.
I have no idea. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute since I've seen it.
So, that night, news arrived that British ships had sailed into New York Harbor, posing an immediate threat to the Continental troops commanded by George Washington. On July 2nd, delegates from 12 colonies voted in favor of independence. New York would follow suit on July 9th.
Whoa. They voted on July 2nd? You're getting to that.
I'm getting there. And the motion carried. On July 3rd, even as Congress revised a draft of the Declaration composed by Thomas Jefferson, an excited John Adams took to his pen to write to his wife, Abigail. Because, they couldn't tweet. They had to write a letter that someone would carry on a horse. Kids, can you keep up with this? The second day of July 1776 will be the most memorable epocha, I don't know how to say that word, in the history of America, Adams wrote. I am apt to believe that it will be celebrated by succeeding generations as the great anniversary festival. It ought to be solemnized with pomp and parade, with shoes, S-H-E-W-S, not the things you wear on your feet. And no idea what those are. Should probably Google it, and maybe we can add it to our July 4th celebration. Google, please, my good sir. It ought to be solemnized with pomp and parade, with shoes, not the things you wear on your feet, games, sports, guns, bells, bonfires, and illuminations from one end of this continent to the other, from this time forward forevermore.
A shoe, S-H-E-W, is an old-fashioned spelling of the word show.
Ah, okay. I can get behind that. Okay, we do shows, so it works. Adams was off by a few days. On July 4th, after making a total of 86 mostly small changes to Jefferson's draft, Congress officially adopted the Declaration of Independence, though most of the delegates didn't even sign the document until August 2nd. Some impromptu celebrations greeted the Declaration's first public readings on July 8th. In front of local militia troops in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. But the first organized celebration of Independence Day would take place in Philadelphia on July 4th, 1777. Fun fact, I am related to one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence.
He's the guy in National Treasure, right?
Yes.
But not Nicolas Cage.
Not Nicolas Cage. So in National Treasure, there is the whole like signer of the Declaration of Independence right before he died told like the footman or like the servant boy, whatever, about, hey, there's this big ass secret that nobody else knows about. And it was the last surviving member. And that was my relative. His name is Charles Carroll of Carrollton, because that's how people had names back then.
So how are you related to him?
Somewhere on my mom's side.
If your mom is from Germany.
No, so my mom's family is from like everywhere. So we have family in Germany, we have family in England, we have family all over the United States. I want to say it's on her mom's side, but I'm not even sure on that, which side of my family it is. But I know my dad's side, I'm second generation.
Mm-hmm. Greek.
Yep, my mom's side, daughter of the American Revolution.
Are you a member of the Illuminati?
I am not at liberty to confirm or deny that.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Wait, what is that red dot on me?
Don't worry about it, honey. Told you there were some things that we could never talk about.
Back to the Revolutionary War. So after you read that, basically there's a lot of bureaucracy that goes on. There's a lot of like, and this happens in today's Congress. There's a lot of formalities and stuff. So it sounds like they just picked a day.
Basically, yeah. Because I'm trying to remember based on all of the historic tours that we've done without having to like do a bunch of Googling. This might have been the second Declaration of Independence. Because
there were different versions.
There were different versions, but one of the versions was basically like super treason, even against like the people in the United States. It was weird. But no matter what, they were committing treason against King George III in like Britain.
It's important to note that it's the day that we declared independence. It's not, we're independent. That's not the day that we became independent necessarily.
Correct.
That's the day that we declared war, basically.
It's basically the day that we were Michael Scott yelling, I declare independence. Except like you have to do like 30 things before that actually is a thing. So.
But can you imagine how slow that process was? We're going to write a strongly worded letter to the King of England, who lives, I don't know how many days away. Like 3 months, maybe?
Yeah, because it was all, you had to sail. There were no motors. Hope the wind is in your favor.
And then he has to read the letter. He has to think of a response. And then he has to say... They had to sail back the response.
Yeah, nothing is done quickly.
So it's very, very weird to think about that and the logistics behind that. So
nothing like what we've got today.
No.
How we have celebrated 4th of July in years past. Most years my dad would hop the border and buy fireworks.
Because it's illegal in Ohio?
It is illegal in Ohio.
To buy?
To set off most fireworks. You can buy them.
Really?
Yes. But you have to sign a paper saying you're not going to set them off in the state of Ohio, allegedly. Because like places like Columbus where they don't have a border that they can easily hop to buy them, they have some workarounds. That takes the liability off of the firework dealer.
I like how you called them a dealer. We live close enough to Indiana where we can just
hop the border and buy whatever we want.
And once you get to Indiana on 74,
it's
very apparent that you're in Indiana.
Fireworks.
Yeah.
There's like 10 different places to buy fireworks off the first exit. So like if we got fireworks, they would be just for us or for friends and family. But our neighborhood would do a parade every year with the fire department. So the parade would start at the top of the neighborhood at noon or whatever time the firefighters were able to get there. And we would go down the neighborhood to the last cul-de-sac. There'd be a grill out, we'd have fun, and then the fire department would hook up to the fire hydrant and spray water at all of us. Occasionally, they'd let kids hold the fire hose. It was lots of fun. So we would do that. And then that night, a bunch of the dads would get together and light fireworks off in the subdivision.
In the circle, yeah.
Yeah. They'd have like 2 tables full of fireworks, and they'd have their little flashlights because it was before the days of cell phone flashlights, trying to figure out which firework they wanted to set off next. It was fun.
Yeah, we did something similar, but during the day it was usually spent. We belonged to a swim club called Phillips, which is a West Side staple. And we would usually spend the day in the pool, the day of 4th of July in the pool. Usually it's pretty warm as well, so that always was nice to do that. And then we would go home, and our neighbor up the street, he would, for 4th of July, he would go door to door, collect money to then go and buy a ton of fireworks. And he would set them off that night.
Yeah.
Probably like 30 minutes to 45 minutes worth of fireworks.
Oh, wow.
It was, maybe not quite 45 minutes, but maybe at the peak of when he did this, it was 45 minutes, but probably like closer to 25 to 30 minutes in the normal years. So sometimes we would just sit in our circle and watch, because he was in the circle of the street.
You could still see it pretty well from your house because it's fireworks.
Yeah, so we would watch with the neighbors. And then other years, because he had a daughter my sister's age, so they were friends. And then there was another girl in that same circle that was friends with my sister, so we would all go up and hang out with them and watch it from their yard. We would bring like a camp chair or something, and we would watch it from the lawn. And that was a well-oiled machine. They probably did that for 15 years, I want to say.
Yeah, it was a while, because I think they were still doing it when we started dating, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, Jenna's friend was just born. And so they did that a very long time. There was a very well-oiled machine, and they had the blow torches and everything. And so a lot of the dads helped too.
Yeah.
But there was food, a lot of food. People would bring, different desserts and stuff. We didn't do that every year. Sometimes we would go out to the farm, and we would do that because we had a lot of summer birthdays. I think we talked about that. We had my sister, my cousin,
your brother,
your
other cousin,
my other cousin, who's in July, and then eventually you.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I am the most important out of all of those people. And I went to one or two of those before we stopped doing them.
Yeah, we were the ones that went to purchase the fireworks.
Yeah, we bought fireworks 1 or 2 a years.
And we were the ones that set them off. But before you came into the picture, it was my dad and uncle that did that. Which
it's probably good that we took that over.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are some things they're only allowed to do with adult supervision, and neither of them count as adults.
But the farm, that's out in the middle of nowhere. So
yeah, so you can do pretty much whatever you want as long as you don't set the barn on fire.
Yeah, I mean, there were no fire. I mean, you can see the stars. There's no light pollution out there.
Yeah.
It gets really dark really quick. And we would sometimes have like a campfire, and we would toast marshmallows and have s'mores.
Yeah.
Do summery stuff. Oh, the sparklers. Those were our favorites.
Of course.
And we would put them in a pail of water when we were done.
Yeah, everything got put in a pail of water. We don't mess around on the farm with fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then there was one year that was, I don't even know, like, how exactly did this happen? Because it was your coworker. I called him Goldilocks because he had blonde curly hair. And
I don't think he appreciated that, by the way.
I don't think he did either. I think I even put in a Yelp review to ask for Goldilocks. It sounds like a thing that I might have done.
Oh, boy.
Somehow we got invited to his family's 4th of July party. What? Do you remember?
Well, he was a popular guy in the old team.
He was very friendly and very nice.
This was before, when I was in college still.
Yeah.
And I worked at the pizza place. We were servers together. And he was one of the full-time servers. I don't think he was in school at the time. So he knew all the servers. And I think he just did like a blanket, let's go, you can come to my house sort of thing.
It was a very big party. And it was a very big house. I'm trying to think, was it his house? Was it maybe his uncle's house? It was probably his house if he was inviting everybody. But
I don't remember whose house it was.
Yeah. But he had a DJ.
Or why we decided to go.
I don't know. Probably because he said they had a really cool bounce house, because they did. So there was a DJ.
Was I working that night too?
Possibly.
Is that why? I don't know. I really don't remember. But we did go.
Yeah, we did go. There was a DJ, and the DJ did karaoke too. And there was a really awesome bounce house that was huge and had a slide inside the bounce house. That was like bounce house goals for me. It's like, I need this bounce house for like whatever party it is that I throw in the future. They might have had like a slip and slide. I feel like there was some kind of water attraction that we did not participate in. And then they had a really cool fireworks show that was just like something his family put on. It was weird. Like why we went, I don't know, but it was fun. I also seem to like either invite myself into things or find ways to get invites into things.
Oh, no, I think he invited everyone because there were quite a few people from the pizza place there.
Yeah.
There's probably like 5 or 6 other people there.
I mean, to be fair, everybody else probably already had plans that they didn't want to bail on. I don't know. So that's what we did pre-kids and pre-house. Because once we got the house, we started attending the Green Township fireworks that they do every 4th of July. And that's where Sapphire Express plays. They pack this park full of people. You kind of just lay your blanket and your chairs out, and that's your spot where you'll watch the fireworks. And you got to get there early if you want a good spot. It's great for families. I'm not sure if Lily would like it. They're not doing something for 4th of July this year because they're currently remodeling the park, but they're going to do something later on in the year.
With fireworks?
Yes. So I don't know if we're going to take Lily to that or if maybe we'll wait until next year when both the kids are a bit older. They both really like their sleep though, and don't do well after 9, which is usually when the fireworks start.
I think
like
they start
9-ish.
at like 9:05, yeah.
Yeah.
And even then, I don't think it's super dark.
It gets dark as we're watching them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
That's like a big show. A lot of the townships do shows. So there's the Green Township one, and then I also remember going to the Coleraine one in high school.
Yeah, Coleraine does something. There's Red, White, and Blue Ash.
That's a big one.
That's a very big one. They'll have like huge bands play there.
I've never been.
I
But
haven't
I
either.
think my brother went one year.
Yeah, your mom wanted to go, I think the year I was super pregnant, and I was like, no thank you. I will be in the house where the AC is or in a pool where it is cool.
Yeah.
Because no, pregnant lady does not want to walk all that in the heat unless if I have like 50 popsicles to help cool me down.
Well, I don't think my mom understood how big it was.
I don't think she did either.
Because parking is an issue at all these places.
It is. So we would end up parking at our friend's house and then walk in. And it's not even like walking from our friend's house is close. It's still like a mile or 2 away.
Well, just getting to our friend's house because of all the traffic.
Yeah, getting to their house is crazy. So one year I took back roads to get home from their house, because if I would have taken the main road that was a straight shot, it would have taken me like an hour to get home versus the 15 minutes it took with me taking the back roads.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Well, it's a lot of people.
Yeah. So this year we don't really have any plans for 4th of July. We'll probably just mostly chill at home. Maybe we'll grill out with some family.
Well, ever since we got Clara, we haven't really done anything.
Yeah, Clara makes it hard to do things. And the kids do too, because we don't really know what they're going to do with fireworks yet. And like I said earlier, they really like their sleep.
A lot of kids don't like them.
Yeah, it's
They're
kind of
upstairs.
50-50 until they get to be like 5 or 6 and can more understand what's going on as far as whether they like them or not. So I don't really know when the next time is we're going to do major fireworks.
Well, our neighborhood, it sounds like
You're in a battlefield. Starting like the weekend before 4th of July, like every day there's at least one firework that goes off.
it's really weird. Like, why would you set off a random one firework?
Yeah, it's
Maybe we just don't hear the rest.
possibly.
No, I don't think it's gunfire.
Well, and it's like last year it was terrible because since all of the big fireworks displays got canceled, I guess everyone else decided to just do fireworks at their own house, and it was so many fireworks. And the common courtesy thing is too that you don't set anything off after 11, and they were still going after 11. And I know unless if you're being like a super nuisance or a danger to society as a whole, the cops don't really care that you set off fireworks unless it's after 11 p.m. And then they're like, hey, yo, you need to stop. And if we have to come back because you didn't stop, then we'll start writing you up for all the stuff that you do. But otherwise, just go to bed.
Yeah. Clara, which is our youngest dog, she's turning
Our producer.
She's right over there on the couch. She keeps standing up and stretching and going in circles to try to get comfy.
She just wants us to go to bed so she can go to bed.
Yeah, the other one is upstairs, I think.
In bed, super comfy, all stretched out.
Yes. But Clara, who just turned 5 in May, she gets extremely anxious, like heart pumping, panting.
Will not settle, wants to like snuggle inside of your chest.
Even more than usual.
Well, so normally she'll snuggle against your side or between your legs. When fireworks are going off, she like legitimately tries to snuggle with your heart. And so we just crank up the TV, snuggle with her as much as we can.
Well, we'll get
and
through
just
it.
Wait for the fireworks to stop.
So we decided to take this opportunity to give some tips and tricks
For what to do when your dog is terrified of fireworks and or thunderstorm. Usually the two go hand in hand.
It is largely believed that Independence Day, 4th of July, is the day when the highest number of dogs run away. And I found 9 tips on how to calm your dog down during the 4th of July if your dog gets anxious. And this is from the
American Kennel Club.
American Kennel Club. We're not going to go through all 9 because of time, but we're going to give you some highlights and then we'll post the full article in the show notes.
The first tip that we'll cover is to keep your dog away from fireworks. So don't bring them with you to the fireworks show. Your dog isn't going to stare up at the sky and enjoy the pretty colors and the bright lights. They're going to freak out and want to get away from you.
Even dogs that aren't super afraid of fireworks.
Yeah, don't give them any kind of reason to hate it.
Yeah.
And then just don't leave them outside by themselves. The reason why dogs end up running away is because they're trying to find a safe place where they cannot hear these loud noises anymore. So their goal is just to get as far away from the noises as possible. So just if you leave them inside, they can't run anywhere other than in your house.
Yeah. The second tip that we liked was make sure your pet has a proper ID and is microchipped. Both of our dogs are microchipped.
Yes, make sure they're wearing their collar, that they have tags, and those tags have your current phone number on them. If they're microchipped, that microchip is associated with your current phone number. Our dogs have 3 or 4 different ways to get identified, though at least 2 of those ways are all attached to each other.
We haven't tested this though.
No. So
Thank God.
The dogs are microchipped, and that's associated with, I believe, Joe's phone number. And then they have 3 tags. They have the tag that we made for them that has their name and our phone number on the back.
Mm-hmm.
They have their Hamilton County dog tag, which has their Hamilton County dog number on it. So they can associate that number with us. So they can find us through Hamilton County. And then there's their rabies vaccine tag, which I think the vet or someone else can figure out that it's us through that as well, possibly. But all of their tags are together on the same hook. So if they lose that hook, we still have the microchip though. But microchips do migrate. So don't just check between their shoulder blades. Check the whole dog for a microchip.
Do you know how that works? So we have to, if you find a dog.
So if you find a dog, you take it typically to a vet's office or a shelter, and they will have the wand so they can scan the microchip. And the microchip will have a number that's associated with the company, and that company is what has your information. So it's not like every vet's office has your information.
Gotcha.
And it's not like they scan the chip and they have your information. They still have to jump through some hoops to get to that information. But the problem is people don't update their microchips. Like they don't update the data associated with it. So if they move or their phone number changes, if they don't change the information in the system with the company that they registered the microchip with, now they don't know who to actually call. They're going to end up calling the wrong person trying to return your dog to you.
The third tip is comfort your dog. And as you said, we tend to watch TV in our bedroom with the volume up really loud. And Clara likes to sit against our chest as we're laying in bed.
Yeah.
Not exactly comfortable. And she shakes, is really uncomfortable, and she whines. And it's not a good situation.
No, poor girl. It's only gotten worse. Hopefully, I mean, when she's super old, I know it'll get better because our friend's dog doesn't like thunder or fireworks either. But now she's super old, so she's deaf, so she can't hear it anymore. So that means she can't be nervous about it anymore. But then you also have a dog that can't hear, so.
Yeah, that's a whole new set of issues.
Yeah.
But Zoe clearly doesn't like him as well, but she doesn't react as bad as Clara.
Yeah, Zoe's not a fan. She's more likely to stay close to us or just stay curled up in a ball all day when those things are going off.
Yeah, she definitely doesn't like it. But Clara is the one that pants.
She's just freaking out like,
because her heart is pumping.
We're going to die. We're being attacked. We're being bombed. What is going on?
And then the last tip that we're going to cover is the talk to your vet. And usually this leads to some kind of medication.
Yeah, this is if you can't find anything at all to calm them down and you're not comfortable with the way that they're reacting. You can possibly medicate your dog just
like
for the day.
with a sedative.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe there's something before you get to the sedative.
Possibly. So you can try a thunder jacket. We haven't really tried that with Clara. We usually end up being her thunder jackets. So I'm not entirely sure if it would work with her because she might be beyond help.
Well, we do have that sweater.
Oh yeah, she does like to wear her little sweater. She doesn't like putting on her little sweater, but once she's in it, she does not want you to take it off of her.
I would imagine that won't be comfortable in the middle of July, but
no.
But it does seem to comfort her. Like it fits like its thunder jacket, I guess. It's not as heavy.
No,
but
and it's probably
warm.
not as snug, but she for sure appreciates it in the fall.
Yeah. So that is all about the 4th of July. Maybe next year we will have some more things to report about the 4th of July. If we get out and do something.
Yeah, if we can, we'll see what happens.
But now it's time for your favorite segment, my favorite segment, and the audience's favorite segment.
Is this where you're going to insert in some fake audience cheering because you have that sound pack now?
It's not fake. Those are real people.
We can agree to disagree on what it means to be fake.
It is time for Joe's dad joke of the week. And I have another timely joke.
Well, at least you're timely about it.
It's all about fireworks.
Glad you can stay on topic.
Yes, I try. I try to do the research, go to all the bars. Okay, you did the research for this one. Get all the gossip and all the dad's jokes. So here it goes. Are you ready for this?
As ready as I will ever be.
Listeners, I hope you are ready to be amazed, to be wowed by this joke. So, what do you get if you mix ducks with fireworks?
I don't know. What do you get, Joe?
Firecrackers.
Oh my goodness. Are you going to insert applause here? Because you shouldn't.
Cue the applause. So that does it for this week's show. Thank you so much for listening. We want to hear from you. If you have ideas for a show topic, if you have comments about a previous show, maybe you liked it, maybe you learned something new, or perhaps maybe we could improve.
We want to hear from you about how we can make this show better. Get us all the listeners. I need to get that tax-deductible trip to Disney World we talked about in the first episode.
There are many ways to get in touch with us. You can send us an email at craftparentingpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Craft Parenting Podcast. If you do that, you can get updates on when new episodes have dropped, see adorable pictures of our kids, and more.
If you like what you hear, please leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or your podcatcher of choice. Make sure to share the show with your friends, family, your neighbor down the street. It really helps our show grow. You can also send us stuff to our awesome P.O. Box.
All of this information is available on our beautiful website, which I designed, and that address is www.craftparentingpodcast.com, so go check it out.
That's where you can find show notes. Plus, I've been writing a lot of blog posts about some of the stuff that doesn't make it in the podcast.
If you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe to the show. We are listed on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, just about every podcast app out there. And with that, I'm Joe.
And I'm Caroline.
See you next time on the Craft Parenting Podcast.
We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice and ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.